Um, these are pieces, I think, by younger kids. And what those kids wrote was the tune. And then Art Peterson wrote the accompaniment for this one, and Lorraine wrote the accompaniment for this one, because they're keyboard people, so they know how keyboard parts work. I was hoping that maybe some of those kids would be here, because I was told they can actually sing these tunes. Of course, one of the interesting things about these pieces that we can talk about is text setting. These were both poems that existed just as poems. Have you heard of Shel Silverstein? Do you know that guy's name?
Yeah, like a poet.
Yeah. Writes mostly poetry for kids, although adults love it because it's fun and funny,
Yeah.
very witty, makes you laugh. And so, the whole art of taking a poem and finding tunes for it is I think, quite a sophisticated art and craft. You're paying attention to text, you're paying attention to the rhythm of a text. If I say, Mary had a little lamb, its fleece was white as snow, even just saying that, Mary had a little lamb, its fleece was white as snow, ducka 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 dum, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, right? Those kinds of pulses just come out when we say that in English. It's interesting, different languages actually have some different rhythms. A lot of English works very well in triple meter. I don't know why, it just does. But French or German might have different rhythms that they naturally sort of fall into. Of course, this is English. If we just read this, Mama said I'd lose my head if it wasn't fastened on. Today I guess it wasn't, because while playing with my cousin, it fell off and rolled away, and now it's gone. Okay? So there's, Mama said I'd lose my head if it wasn't fastened on. Today I guess it wasn't, because while playing with my cousin, it fell off and rolled away, and now it's gone. Now, there are probably different rhythms you could read that in, but that's sort of an obvious one that comes to mind. So, I think that the students did quite a nice job in here of thinking about those rhythms and allowing the rhythm of the text to suggest the way the melody might go. So what they wrote was this. Right? Actually, gotta get that right. So, Mama said I'd lose my head if it wasn't fastened on. Today I guess it wasn't, cause while playing with my cousin, it fell off and rolled away, and now it's gone. Okay? What is that, major or minor?
Minor.
Minor. Does that make sense? I mean, it's funny, but it's also, I've lost my head. Where could I have put it? And then, of course, it goes on and gets worse. And I couldn't look for it because my eyes are in it. And I can't call to it because my mouth is in it. It couldn't hear me anyway because my ears are on it. And I can't even think about it because my brain is in it. So I guess I'll sit down on this rock and rest for just a minute. Okay? That's a cute poem. It's a sort of mock, very serious situation.
I think there was when I was smaller, there was a children's book, and he was sitting on his head.
You think that's where it is? So maybe that's where it is.
I've seen that one, and it shows a picture of him sitting on his head.
On his head, okay. I didn't know that.
That's what the rock is.
Right, good. Okay, very good. Yeah, so it's a kind of a mock serious situation, right? Hence the minor. So I think it's a great choice. The rhythms. Mama said I'd lose my head if it wasn't fastened on. Today I guess it wasn't, 'cause while playing with my cousin. Notice wasn't and cousin, of course they're close rhymes. They're supposed to be more or less rhymes. And so they made a musical rhyme. Duckum, buckum, right? The same rhythm happens twice. Playing with my cousin, it fell off and rolled away, and now it's gone. And that's the end of section A. And I think what they were really clever about is putting the important words, the words that we would stress if we were speaking the poem, on strong beats. Sometimes they syncopate it. So, Mama said I'd lose my head if it wasn't fastened on, right? So they sort of syncopate them, but a syncopation is a kind of an accent. And so I think they were very clever at putting the important words on the important beats of the measure. The other thing I remember liking about this piece is that at first, right, that's the minor third of E minor, so it sounds like minor. Whoa! G sharp, right? So now suddenly we're in major. Today I guess it wasn't, 'cause while playing with my cousin, right? That's unexpected, going from E minor to E major, and it causes that second phrase, again, if we think about function, right? The first thing is to, of course, introduce the text, but also to say we're in E minor, it's a serious situation. But then suddenly we get these G sharps, and whoa, a different function. We're now sort of in major, okay? Okay, playing with my cousin, it fell off, and now we're back to minor. Rolled away, and now it's gone, and we are irrevocably in minor again, okay? But what a great little idea to throw in that major, right? Suddenly it sort of shakes us out of our E minor reverie. And then in the second section, I think this is, I'm trying to remember if I remember this right, but I can't look for it because my eyes are in it. Have we heard this before? Right? It is a development of the opening motive. Can't look for it because my eyes are in it. And I can't call to it 'cause my mouth is in it. Couldn't hear me anyway 'cause my ears are in it. Can't even think about it 'cause my brain is in it. What essentially is happening in this section?
Like there's more things there's more and more tension building.
Yes, and how is the tension created?
By going higher.
Yes. Right? It's just it's rising, going up, up, up. It's like the tension is rising. The more this person thinks about in what trouble they are in, right? It just keeps going, going, going. Yeah. Can't even think about it 'cause my brain is in it. So I guess I'll sit down on this rock and rest for just a minute. And what does it do from here to the end? To release that tension that was building, building, building. Listen to it again.
It goes down and gets quieter.
Yes, it goes back down, right? And it does get quieter because they put decrescendos there, exactly. So, again, in terms of sections, the opening section introduces us to E minor. The kind of the variation introduces us to E major, quite a surprise, but delivers us back to E minor. Section B, the function is to give us this very exciting rise, 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 up to here. My brains are in it. It's like the worst discovery of all, right? And then, so what are you going to do? I guess I'll just sit down, right? I have no answers. I'll just sit down and think about it. So it's just kind of a giving up or a drifting back down. And of course, as you pointed out, maybe the answer will soon be solved. He's sitting on his head. Okay, yeah. So I thought this was a terribly clever melody. Of course, the accompaniment was written by Art Peterson and is very elegant. And it helps us to understand, some of these things. If I don't want to get in your way, but if I play the tune, can't look for it 'cause and then he goes, eyes are in it, and I can't look for it. rising, rising, rising. You know, when I just played the tune, we weren't quite sure what the harmony might be. It was a little surprising. And so Art has figured out some chords underneath it that help that rise, rise, rise be very clear. So that was very clever, I think. But the tune itself is what the kids wrote, and it's just a very strong tune. Congratulations. Good tune.